Hey everybody, this is Alex Merced from alexmerced.com. I want to talk about today is why I think we should start rebranding free markets as open markets. Now, a lot of people sometimes really embrace the words capitalism, free markets. I have. The problem is sometimes there's a lot of communication and people misunderstand where libertarians such as myself come from. Basically thinking that when you hear the word, sometimes when people hear the word free, when libertarians hear the word free, it means that you have control over your property, you have control over your rights, and other people can't take your stuff and hurt you. When other people hear free, they hear you can do whatever you want, including hurting other people, taking their stuff, causing them harm, etc. So when they hear free markets, they're hearing sort of unrestrained hedonism in their mind. When they hear capitalism, they're only imagining just basically a straightforward, top-down, large corporate structure as how all economic organization is done. And then this is generally what they sometimes take issue with. Although, when a libertarian uses free markets, when a libertarian uses capitalism, they're really implying a wide variety of possibility, not just top-down, large corporations, one-person freelance businesses, co-ops, etc. A diverse array of enterprise. Because the idea is we want you to experiment. We want you to be free to run the business how you want. That's what we mean by capitalism. That's not what other people hear. When we say free markets, we mean we want there to be diversity in who starts a business, what businesses they start. We want people to be able to move freely between places so that way they can meet other people, share ideas, create, innovate. Okay, so we're imagining this very inclusive idea of everyone being able to participate in trying to better their own lives. But what other people hear when they hear free market is a bunch of people being able to do whatever they want to make money. Okay? So we can argue that. We can sit there and have a debate over what we mean by the terms. But if the terms are getting lost in translation, why not just use better terms? So this is why I want to introduce terminology like open and closed markets, because I think that gets a little bit closer to what, as a libertarian, we mean as an open market where, and I like to say diversity through an open market, in the sense that an open market where people are able to participate because there aren't barriers in their way. You're not closing the market to this business and to them, closing this opportunity away. By having the market be open, you can have diversity, a diversity of people who participate in that market, diversity of different versions of that business, find the ones that work best for society. Because at the end of the day, a business, whether it's a co-op, your standard corporation, a partnership, whatever type of way you organize an enterprise, it's still a group of people cooperating. When two businesses compete, it's really two groups of people cooperating, trying to see who can cooperate better. So competitive markets are showing us how to cooperate. And because of this, we're able, as a society, to do more with less. We're able to cooperate better. And when you have open markets that don't get in the way of people participating in them, that allow people to start a business, that doesn't make it expensive for them to start a business needlessly. Again, there's always going to be certain costs that are just natural that you can't do anything about, and that is what it is. People innovate to get around those costs. But when you create tax and regulatory burdens, you create extra costs of starting a business that were unnecessary, that make it harder for people who have less to start a business. So you're closing that market away. I want to get away from closed markets that keep people out, that prevent that diversity of ideas, that diversity of thought, that creates innovation. And then there's also the term shadow and transparent markets. Okay, when people can do things legally through an open legal market, there's more transparency. We can see what societal problems there are, or what needs fixing, what doesn't need fixing, because society can see it because we are allowed to participate. We're allowed to participate in that open market. But when you start closing markets, you also start creating shadow markets, markets where people operate outside of the open. So then sometimes things like, when you think about like drugs and sex work, you have a lot of social things that people might think are social ills, or that may or may not be hidden, and people don't see the extent to which they exist and can't take the appropriate actions to address them because they don't know to what extent this market exists because it's in the shadow. So I want transparent markets that operate in the open. I want open, transparent, diverse markets where you have diversity of thought, diversity of people, and diversity of ideas that create innovation. And I think using that terminology gets the libertarian idea across much more clear, to the point where it can be more compelling to more people, because they understand where we're really coming from. We're not saying, hey, we just want people to do whatever they want, even if it hurts other people. Okay? Now, again, there is a difference between the initiation of force versus harm when we talk about like non-aggression. But that's really getting into sort of the philosophical weeds. First, let's just get the basic idea that we're looking for open markets, and open markets that operate transparently, because people can participate, because they're open, because it's out in the open, it's legal, we're not restricting people, we're not closing people off, results in diversity of ideas, diversity of people, diversity of thought, and innovation. That's the core, what you get when you embrace liberty, when you embrace libertarianism. And that's what we want. And we want to get away from closed markets that limit who can participate, that does the opposite, that creates isolation of ideas, of thought, of goods and services, that puts things into the shadows. It makes it harder for society to address issues that may need to be addressing. So hopefully this gives you the tools to advocate for liberty better, and basically put aside quibbles over terms, or quabbles, or whatever the term should be, for an argument over a term, when it's not the term, the specific word, whether it be capitalism or free markets, that we're trying to advocate here, but the underlying idea, the underlying actions that people are allowed to take in their lives to better their lives and better society as a whole. That's what we're trying to get at. That's the goal, to get that idea across. Words are just words. My name is Alex Merced from alexmerced.com. If you like this video, please subscribe to me on YouTube, like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, share the video, and thank you very much. Thank you very much for listening. Have a great day and enjoy. Check out alexmerced.com to find out about all my other projects. And if you want to find a way to help support all my efforts, head over to libertydeal.info, where you can find all sorts of different ways to help out. My name is Alex Merced. Have a great day and enjoy.